The situation reaches a breaking point when a new crisis emerges. During a routine patrol, Tom and Rachel discover that a section of the mall has been compromised. Zombies have breached one of the service corridors and are beginning to infiltrate the main building. Panic spreads quickly. The group scrambles to respond, but the chaos of the situation only exacerbates their existing tensions. The conflicts that were simmering beneath the surface boil over as people scramble to protect themselves. "Why didn't you see this coming?" Mark shouts at Tom. "You were supposed to be keeping watch. I'm not a miracle worker." Tom retorts, his face flushed with anger. "We all knew this place wasn't perfect." The argument spirals out of control, and in the midst of the chaos, the zombies breach the main floor. The group is forced to fight for their lives, the previously orderly defenses collapsing into disarray. As the mall is overrun, the group's desperate efforts to fend off the zombies are hampered by their own internal strife. The once strong bonds that held them together are now frayed and broken. The fighting between the group members only serves to weaken their defensive efforts, and the zombies begin to close in on them. With the mall falling apart around them, the group faces their final, desperate moments. The community center's earlier disaster has nothing on the devastation they now face. The zombies are relentless, and the group's efforts to hold them off are futile. The recordings and diaries capture the disintegration of their social structure in the final moments. Tom's voice, once authoritative and calm, is filled with panic and despair as he attempts to direct the group to safety. Rachel's voice, usually steady and supportive, is now trembling with fear as she tries to keep everyone focused. Mark's frustration boils over, and he lashes out at anyone in his path, his sense of betrayal and anger manifesting in his erratic behavior. Emma and Lucy, their spirits crushed, or resigned to their fate as they try to find a safe corner amid the chaos. David, overwhelmed by the collapse of their defenses, is silent, his face a mask of resignation. As the mall becomes a death trap, the group is forced to make the ultimate decision: fight to the last breath or escape into the unknown. The chaos culminates in a desperate scramble for the exits, each person grappling with their own sense of doom. In the end, the group's struggle is captured in a series of disjointed recordings and frantic messages. The last moments are chaotic, with the group members separated and fighting their way through the mall. The recordings show snippets of their final efforts: Tom's desperate commands, Rachel's cries for help, Mark's angry shouts, and the resigned silence of Emma and Lucy. The mall, once a symbol of hope, becomes a tomb for the group. The undead claim it is their own, and the survivors' struggles are reduced to a tragic memory. The collapse of their social structure and the ultimate impact of the zombie apocalypse on their lives is starkly evident in the final recordings. As the last of the group's messages fades out, the mall falls silent once more, the only sounds the distant moans of the undead. The story of their struggle ends with a haunting sense of loss and futility, a stark reminder of the brutal reality of their world. The recording device finally falls silent, leaving behind only the echoes of a once hopeful group whose dreams of survival were ultimately shattered by the relentless tide of the apocalypse. The collapse of their shelter and their social structure serves as a grim testament to the harsh, unforgiving nature of their new reality. The world outside the crumbling mall is eerily quiet. The streets of the town, once bustling with life, are now deserted. Abandoned cars are strewn about, and the remnants of a once thriving community lay in ruins. The mall, now overrun by zombies, stands as a grim monument to the chaos and destruction wrought by the outbreak. The aftermath of the group's collapse is documented through a series of haunting diary entries and recordings, capturing the desolation that has settled over the world. The survivors' last moments are juxtaposed with the stark reality of their new existence, a world where the undead roam freely, and human civilization has all but disintegrated. Inside the mall, the silence is almost deafening. The once bustling corridors are now empty, save for the shuffling of the undead and the occasional groan that echoes through the building. The security cameras, left running during the final days, reveal glimpses of the chaos as the zombies breach the defenses. The footage shows the frantic efforts of the survivors, their desperate attempts to fortify their position, and the gradual collapse of their defenses. The recordings reveal the final moments of the group's struggle. Tom's frantic commands, Rachel's anguished cries, and Mark's furious outbursts are interspersed with the sounds of zombie attacks. The footage captures the collapse of their social structure and the ultimate fall of their sanctuary. The final recordings show the survivors in their last moments, fighting their way through the mall's darkened corridors, their faces etched with fear and resignation. The camera, held by one of the survivors in their last stand, captures the chaos of their final attempt to escape. The footage ends abruptly, leaving their fate uncertain, with the image of the mall's entrance slowly closing as the undead swarm in. The diaries and recordings shift to the broader world, revealing the extent of the outbreak's impact. The footage from various locations shows a world in ruin. Cities are overrun with zombies, their streets empty except for the shuffling undead. Buildings stand in various states of decay, their windows broken, and their interiors left untouched. The recordings capture the pervasive sense of loss and abandonment. There are glimpses of military installations, once symbols of hope and strength, now overrun and deserted. The equipment is left behind, rusting and useless, a testament to the collapse of organized resistance against the undead. The camera pans over rural areas and small towns, showing the same scenes of desolation. Abandoned homes, overgrown fields, and remnants of daily life are scattered about, untouched by human hands. The silence is punctuated only by the distant moans of the undead, a constant reminder of the New World Order. Amidst the ruins, there are occasional signs of other survivors. The recordings capture fleeting glimpses of people scavenging for supplies or seeking refuge in makeshift shelters. These survivors are cautious, wary of the undead and the dangers posed by other humans. The footage reveals the harsh realities of life in this new world. Resources are scarce, and the struggle for survival is constant. The survivors are shown making difficult choices, foraging for food, and dealing with the ever-present threat of the undead. The diary entries reflect a sense of resignation and survival, as people come to terms with the new reality. There are also moments of humanity amid the chaos. The recordings capture acts of kindness and cooperation, as survivors band together for mutual protection. These moments offer a glimmer of hope but are overshadowed by the overwhelming bleakness of their situation. As the recordings continue, they reflect on the enduring impact of the outbreak. The collapse of human civilization is starkly evident in the desolate landscapes and the fragmented remnants of society. The diaries explore the themes of loss and adaptation, as survivors grapple with the reality of their existence. The final entries offer a somber reflection on the state of the world. The characters' personal struggles and the collapse of their social structures serve as a microcosm of the larger collapse of civilization. The recordings and diaries convey a deep sense of loss and an acknowledgement of the profound changes wrought by the outbreak. Despite the overwhelming bleakness, there are occasional signs of resilience and hope. The recordings occasionally show survivors discovering signs of life or finding solace in small victories. These moments are fleeting but serve as a reminder of the enduring human spirit in the face of adversity. The diaries reflect on the possibility of rebuilding, of finding a way to coexist in this new world. The characters' experiences and struggles offer insights into the resilience of the human spirit and the possibility of finding hope even in the darkest of times. The film concludes with a haunting sense of finality. The recordings and diaries capture the collapse of the world as it was known, leaving behind a desolate landscape and uncertain future. The final moments are marked by a sense of resignation and reflection on the enduring impact of the outbreak. The last scene shows the world from a distance, the camera panning over the ruined cities and empty landscapes. The desolation is profound, but there is also a sense of continuity, a reminder that, even in the face of overwhelming darkness, the world continues to turn. As the final credits roll, the screen fades to black, leaving the audience with a profound sense of loss and contemplation. The story of the outbreak and its aftermath serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of civilization and the enduring strength of the human spirit. The world may be changed forever, but the legacy of those who survived and the hope for a new beginning linger in the shadows of the apocalypse.